Superman issue 12, Peter J. Tomasi and Patrick Gleason, plus art by Doug Mankey on this one. Frankenstein shows up.
Yeah.
So Superman and him have a bit of a fight, and Lois's boss at this local paper that she's been writing for turns out to be a monster that Frankenstein wants to deal with.
Yeah.
That's the gist of it.
Which this whole time I thought that, oh no, Frankenstein just lost it, and that's what the story is going to be about, is finding who's corrupted Frankenstein. But no, Frankenstein was right.
Yeah, he was right.
Much like Cyclops was right, Frankenstein was right.
So I thought it was fine. It feels like a fun issue. Well, it was a fun issue, but I mean, it feels like it's the arc between important arcs, if that makes sense. So this is just a fun little story in between.
And in the state Superman was in before this, I'll take these fun arcs. I'll take Superman and Frankenstein walloping each other just because, and it's nice to see Superman to be able to unleash from time to time, because there's very many opponents, like there's Mongol and Darkseid and, Cyborg Superman, but very little, like even when he's fighting Luthor in the power suit, he holds back. So I love that panel where he was like, look, I know you're doing your job, but when your job starts harming innocent people, that's when it's time to do my job. And it's it's not exactly a threat, but it's Superman going like, look, man, we can talk this out, but if you don't want to talk, then rolling up the sleeves. So
I really thought this story was going to be a bit bigger. Like you say, it's kind of like a fun arc between arcs. But at the very start, when he bursts in, he's like, outcast, I've found you. Yeah. I thought he was mistaken and he was actually there tracking Lois.
Me too.
And I thought it was going to be like a big thing to do with that.
Rebirth
and then it was like,
stuff.
I was like, oh no, it's not. It's just.
It's not. It's just there's a monster. Yeah.
Yeah, and Tomasi knows that we know that.
Yeah.
So because the whole annual was about that, and he wrote that, so I think we were primed. So it was a nice little twist. That came through, but also Lois, like. She's a mom. She's writing for 2 different newspapers. Where does she get the energy?
I know. I don't know. I really don't. I do enjoy the fact that they run into Clark's farmer neighbor Cobb.
Yeah.
And he tries to go at Frankenstein with a shotgun.
I love that though. That's farmers. It's like, look, man, I know you're doing your stuff, but you step onto my property and it's not going to end well. You don't care how big the dude is.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, because we know the multiverse arc is starting next month. So I assume this is only like a 2-parter, maybe a 3-parter, and then it'll be done.
Yeah, so it doesn't feel like it's got the legs for much more than that. If it had been the twist and he was after Lois, I'd say no, you get a full arc out of it. But...
Yeah. Well, it could lead to the other too, because Frankenstein and Shade's all about correcting anomalies.
That's true.
Maybe there'll be some seeds for that, but as it is now, like he comes, crashing through, and then the twist at the end is that, oh no, this reporter woman actually is just a monster.
Yeah.
And that's your ending. So I don't have really much to say on it. It was fun. Art was good.
Cuts off the face. I thought that was a little. Shoot.
Little bit Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah. Also, I've noticed, because I'm going back and reading the Batman and Robin and Robin Rises stuff. And Tomasi really loves Frankenstein. Because he plays a big part of that. And then I also remembered the Hellbat from early on. That was Batman's suit to get to Apocalypse.
Yeah.
So when Lois pulls that out to defend herself from her purse, and she's like, oh yeah, I kept a gauntlet from the Hellbat for protection.
Yeah,
that's what I do like this in general feels like a sequel to Batman and Robin, not just in terms of those things, but it's a spiritual successor as well with the father-son stuff.
Exactly. So, and I'm glad I'm going back and reading those hand in hand with these, because I think Tomasi is like one of our undervalued writers right now.
I'm just glad that Lois kept part of that suit from she's like she felt like such a badass swear, and it's like, I'm going to keep part of this. So
exactly.
That's will come in handy, this gauntlet.
Wayne can afford another one. It's fine.
But what I really want now is I want something to happen when Bruce is around and he sees her pull it out and go, wait a minute, that's mine. It's a fun issue. Art's good. It's just
monkeys. Go ahead, Pete.
I was gonna say, but at the same time, it's probably maybe the least interesting issue of Superman so far. Just
it's a filler. Like
Yeah.
I'm not, and not in the thing that it's not worth reading, but it definitely,
Yeah,
like you said, it's a between arcs.
It's
So
like
I think Monkey is great at these grotesque type characters. Like he was great during Blackest Night with all the Black Lanterns and stuff. So
I agree, but I think he's not quite as good at people. I think his Lois in the first few pages looks a bit odd.
Yeah.
Yeah, the regular stuff in the office at the start's a little bit weird. Once the action starts, though, his stuff's really...
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Really good, so... yeah, it's kind of like the Dinosaur Island two-parter, where it's just a fun little thing. There's some maybe little tidbits that link to other things, but it's mostly just its own little fun story.
A little breather between things.